recording right now on 2 Instagram live accounts. So this is mine here, which no one's on yet, but that's fine. Not what this part's about. And then on Devon's is up top here. So if you're seeing either one of these, we're both recording. Not that matters, but you can check out the other angle. Alex Taschereau Instagram and Devon Yan Instagram. This week.
My hair is so annoying somehow.
Your hair so. I mean, I feel like my hair's so annoying all the time too.
Anyway,
you know what?
so
Nobody cares but us about that.
the problem is I care.
If you're watching this and you think our hair is annoying, please write a message about how annoying our hair is.
Anyway, yeah, welcome to the live, and
yeah.
So and the funny thing, it's when live just started approximately about like five years ago, maybe like on social media, like live streaming.
I feel like maybe even
longer than that. I don't know.
Like less time than that, maybe 4
or 5, whatever.
Years or
so
but yeah.
at that time, I'm looking at those people, doing live streaming on social media, on Facebook, or I think it started from Facebook first, or I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah. I want to say Facebook Live. Yeah.
So and I kind of saying, that's kind of stupid. You know, I mean, why you want to, sharing your life, your private life to the whole world or to bunch of stranger, whatever, so but guess what? 5 years later or 4 years later, I'm becoming one of them, and obviously, so
yeah, we're getting into it.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of things, especially after all this year, and there's a lot of things happening for your life or my life, for all the people's life, and and there's a lot of things, and you just want to share about your opinion, I guess, since they have this platform. So why we just kind of talk about our opinion about certain things. So that's why we're doing that.
Yeah, and it's fun to have the conversations. I feel like we learned even a lot last week talking about colors with Colin.
Yeah.
And yeah,
but this is just like a testing. I mean, we because we introduced us a podcast channel called Kimochi, but we haven't set up the account yet.
Yeah, there's no account for it.
It's kind of like testing water right now, because I to be honest, I feel uncomfortable to talking in front of camera.
yeah.
Or whatever, so that's why you probably most likely won't see me looking at camera right there. Even I'm looking at Alex right here. It's kind of scary, but anyway, so so that's why it's our first time. Well, not first time, second time. So that's why, and I think and we need some more experience, definitely more experience to do a better job or whatever. But
it's the beginnings of the journey. We're diving into the deep water, and we're figuring out how to swim and what kind of different creatures there are down here and all that kind of stuff.
Even I got a feeling no one watching. Thank God. I would prefer that, because probably would feel more comfortable.
There's a couple people watching on mine. My friend Bobby is on there. What's up, Bobby? I think that's Bobby.
I cannot see my
and then Adam, who is going to come in today, will have another week, but he's watching on there too. What's up,
Hey, Adam.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's too bad we missed you. And we're supposed to have Adam on live today to talk about the art and technology.
Yeah, I thought it would be really fun to talk with him about art technology.
But don't worry, we saved the topic for you, because we're not going to talk about art and technology today. I think
we're talking about that with him.
Because you have a lot. I mean, have a lot of doing a lot of things related with art technology. So that's why I think it's good for you to come in to talk about it instead of we. I mean, I have no idea about what art technology. I mean. Yeah.
In his mind, he doesn't. But you have so many experiences that would, I think, also apply. Anyway, but that'll be on the.
But anyway, so
doing being a designer, I'm sure the technology is
later,
affected.
Later. So today we talk about what? We talk about. We just kind of comes up very random topic. Talk about romance.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of talk about romance for Pride. Talk a little bit about Pride and what that means to us. And
I never really feels like it's just my personal opinion. It feels like pride and romance they're not really related in a way.
I mean, pride is like very like sex. It's about sex.
Well, not much about
pride.
sex. I think pride it's kind of more about like a happiness, like celebration. You talk about usual celebration, you will relate it with people, like a lot of people, right? A lot of people they celebrating, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But romance. It could be I'm kind of like a limited mind, whatever you think it is, and I feel like romance should be only 1 or 2 people. Wait, 2 people.
Oh yeah.
So that's why, and I mean, for romance you can celebrate, but for pride, well, you can celebrate. Two people celebrate pride as well, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. But I just feels like somehow romance in a way. I mean, again, maybe it also depends on whatever people depends on your own preference, and you feels like
Yeah.
you want to celebrate with a bunch of people will make me feel like that's very romantic, or or some people they probably feels like only me and my husband or and my girlfriend, or to celebrate, that would be great. So that's why I think depends on your personal preference. But for me,
Yeah, how you feel those feelings. Yeah, it's more maybe in a one-on-one than in like a big party or fest. I know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
The funny thing is, I did talk about this with some other friends. What exactly romance mean?
Yeah.
So, some people saying, you do something special for other people, for your other half.
Yeah.
That's romance, and I think for me, I don't disagree with that, and I don't agree with that as well. But I feels like what is romance for me is kind of whatever people do. It's not necessarily about you do. Let's say you buy flowers for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or my husband buy me what are you gonna buy me? I need to think about it. So fix me a nice meal. Right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
then that is actually romantic.
Yeah, totally.
But for me, I feels like this kind of thing you can do very easily. In a way, for me, I don't really feel that's actually that romantic.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever the other half do for you, that's make me feels like the moment is freeze. Even that's somehow whatever we do, doesn't matter. Whatever we can stay at home, or we can in the theater, we can go to the beach or whatever.
Yeah.
So just like whatever we're doing at the moment, we're sharing, make you feel like it's kind of like stop right there, like freeze, and also you feel like only me and him, or me and her. Then that's the romance. I think that's what I really.
Yeah, it's that kind of feeling. The way I've been thinking of that feeling, it's the feeling when you wouldn't rather be anywhere else in the world. You wouldn't want to be in any other moment because that moment is so good, right?
Well, I don't know about, at least this for as a gay guy, that's what I feel. I don't know for a straight guy, probably different. Usually gay guy they're so awesome. Straight guy, they're so
yeah.
Just joking.
It's just that's
but
all.
Anyway, so that's why
is.
I think I would like to know. What's I think usually. My understanding, usually ladies, they're more into romance instead of compared to guys.
I mean, I don't know if that's totally true. I think like the feelings of like romantic feelings are like really powerful for everybody.
But isn't it like mostly I like to talk to when I'm talking to girls, and we're actually talking to a lot of like romantic stuff and and stories.
Yeah.
But
totally.
when I used to talk to a guy, especially straight guy, they're usually talking about something kind of random. Let's talk about sport, and talk about
practical or something.
More practical stuff. So that's why I just somehow I just feel like they don't really care about romance that much. That's what my impression about. So that's why, and so I would like to know. It's not much about, because I'm also technically, even I'm gay, but I'm still a guy. So that's why I don't know, but I think maybe somehow in my way I kind of thinking about more like ladies way, in a way, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I feel like I think of things very romantically, and that can be like a big pull for me. Not even like, because I think romance doesn't necessarily just have to be the feeling between two people. It can also be like when we were in China, we went to this like Japanese cafe that was like very like French style Japanese cafe in Chengdu. And they were playing Grand Budapest Hotel on the wall, and there's big flowers, and we got these very cool coffees that were very unique in the way they were served and stuff. And then I was writing in my journal, and we were talking about the trip, and it was raining outside. Romantic? I feel like it was like with me in the cafe, it was romantic. Yeah, like that would have been romantic even if I was alone.
I feel that's more like home-ish, warm. I don't really see romance.
Well, because it wasn't, for me, it wasn't like just the comfortness. It was also very, you know what I mean? There was a little like, ooh, something about it being like out there and foreign and nice, and that we came across it is like a romantic experience, I guess.
Okay. I guess you're talking about like an environment that's making you feel romantic.
Yes.
I'm talking about actually maybe the person, whoever you're spending time with, that's making you making you feel romantic. So as I mentioned about earlier, doesn't matter where we're going, just like, the person you're spending time with. It's just, even you're spending time, if someone you're really in love with and, you're spending time in a bathroom, I think.
Yeah.
Very romantic public
Totally.
bathroom. So I guess that's what I'm talking about, my kind of, romance. I think this all depends on the person, who you are spending time with. So, but anyway, so that's why I think, for me, it's kind of interesting to learn about. Like I said, right now I'm learning about that's what you think about. I think sounds
or that's just a part of it. I'm just saying that's another element.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I definitely also feel it with people.
But which
like that.
part you think will be more important? You think about spending time with someone very special more important, or going to some place actually very creating that the vibes, the atmosphere would be more important?
Well, more important for the relationship would be spending time with the person, but more important in my life. Both are important in my life. Related to romance. I just
romance, and you're thinking about which part you think will be more important as the one of the the most important element as the romance. The place or the person.
Well, I mean, like for like a romance, for like a relationship between people, the person is way more important, and that can create the world even more than the environment does. But in my life, like having like I also think of romance as like living like a story, or like living something like kind of artistic. Like I can think of my day as feeling like a more romantic day. If I go out, I go to a cafe, I maybe write a little bit, I go sit at the park. All these are things that kind of tells a romantic story that even is just me by myself. So that's really important in my life, to have that kind of a feeling, or like I'm traveling. It's kind of romantic, I would say.
So I guess that's mean like it doesn't really matter then. It doesn't really, both are important.
Yeah. They're different. They're not like not necessarily so related, but like having romantic feelings with somebody would obviously be more important to that relationship and like how I feel with that person. Yeah.
Interesting. For me, I will feels like person will be more important than the element.
Yeah.
I mean, the person will be the most important things, as a romance.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, just a different way we think of romance, maybe too.
Yeah. So and that's why we even talked about it. I think like last week, a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about the loneliness, and how we feel about someone who being alone. That's how's it feeling? That's really affecting the person. Because I talk to a lot of people, and guys and girls, straight or gay. Most people I talk to, they kind of sounds like they're really afraid to be alone, or feel lonely. They're not afraid to be alone, but if they're afraid to feel lonely.
Yeah.
So that's what I expressed to you before. I said I don't feel I'm okay to have that feeling. To
have that.
Sometimes
the
I
alone
enjoy
feeling.
that too, because I guess because myself as an artist, and I think it's important for me to have this type of feeling to somehow make me give myself more influence to be creative, to express my feelings through art. I don't know.
To have that kind of that time of solitude to kind of process your own like feelings and think through and like let ideas develop through being like bored and alone. I think is really important to creating art. I think like having that space to almost like be bored and do nothing, I've been realizing more and more lately, is an important part for me of feeling creative. Is like I never would have thought of it like this in the past, but I read a book recently from like the 40s, this one called If You Want to Write by Brenda Euland. And she talks a lot about kind of like relaxing, and like not like relaxing exclusively, but also like having a carefree nature about things. And so like sometimes like if I sit somewhere or like just like lay in the sun or something, or just, relax. And an important thing about it for me lately is like without distractions and stuff. So like not like messing around on my phone and like being in another place, but if I just do nothing, my mind can kind of think through some of these things, and I'll get bored. And then when you get bored, things get more interesting. And when things feel really interesting, then I feel very creative, and like I want to express how I feel about things more. So that if like, say, if I take time to not be like checking my phone or listening to something or watching something all the time that I'll go, oh no, I'm bored, and then I go, oh, what's that thing? Oh, that's interesting. Like look at this couch. That's interesting. Look at the texture. And then if I'm in that mode, that's like my most creative kind of mode.
Yeah, for me, I think when they talk like as the finding a way to get the inspiration for it, and again, like I said, for me, including like feeling romantic and feeling lonely, sometimes I like to put myself in on purpose to putting myself in that situation, even I'm in a bad situation, bad a feeling. I just on purpose of doing it. Somehow, it just feels like it's important for me to have that experience so I can appreciate when I'm in a good condition.
Yeah, totally. So, having that contrast.
Yeah, that's why earlier when I come in, you asked me about how I'm feeling, and I say it's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's for good, and yeah. So I mean, I think somehow, I guess that's one reason why I feel like I'm very happy about very happy about that I have that type of personality, and so that's why I don't really feels like I'm not really afraid to even I'm in a bad condition or feeling lonely or whatever. So that's why I don't know. So
because you can kind of see where that'll go later, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when talk about romance, and it's have to be talk about relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's actually related in a way, and I mean for me, I do have. I mean, I cannot say I have a lot of, experience for relationship, but, I have good enough for myself. I mean, I have good enough for me to learn about myself, what I feel very comfortable with, and, and what I feel it's right to do certain things, what I feel it's not right to do certain things.
Yeah.
So, that's why I mean again like I said, and I have a lot of expectation for certain things to being romantic, and but at the same time sometimes you just can't, because again like I said, that's one reason why I'm talking about earlier, being romantic, it's have to, for me it's very important for the other person, because if the other person not able to match with your or do something to match with your expectation, then I'm just not able to feel romantic.
Yeah. If they're not hitting what you're expecting out of that.
So yeah, that's also kind of related with how you're going to making that people or telling that people to I mean, I don't know how to put that in words. Like for example, you don't want to too direct to telling the person, oh hey, you should buy me this and buy me that. Then then I will feel happy. I will feel romantic. When you telling them that they do it for you, it's not romantic anymore.
Yeah, you want them to kind of know some of that kind of stuff.
So I guess that's why somehow you have to take time to get to know the person, or take time to let the person get to know you, and so see you have that motive. If the person, or if you're even for yourself, have the motivation for you to do something for each other, then we're creating that romance.
What's like the most important way a person can act at like the beginning of a romance for you that like that influences you the most? That would be like, what's the most important kind of thing they can do or not do?
One of the romantic things about I remember I've done this is a long time ago, like way like over 15 years ago. We did not really do a whole lot. We don't even talk that much, and we meet up and we say hi, and then somehow, I mean, I guess first of all because we have an attraction for each other, right? So that's why, and we say hi, and then we kind of like briefly introduce to each other, and after that, and then we just take a walk along the you've been there before, and the Victoria Harbour in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah.
So
with the lights
that
at night, it's very beautiful.
It's already romantic. Romantic.
That's a more romantic place that we went. You and I and your parents, and it wasn't romantic, but like I still have the visual of that place, and being there is like a romantic environment for sure. Yeah.
So we just kind of walk around, and also keep that in mind. Last time we were there, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the time, it's not that many people. It's kind of quiet. It's just it's a what's that? Is it the word called like a category called like a spot? It's actually a hot spot for people to go.
Oh, like a tourist area.
Only for couple, for people to hang out. I mean, there's a name for that in Chinese. I mean, in Cantonese. So that's why again, we just really do a whole lot. We just go there and walk around, and so somehow just slowly get into mode that I don't even remember when and how that we're holding hand.
That's nice.
So that's it, and then we're holding hand. We're walking from all the way from Shanwan, not Shanwan actually. Basically, like the pier, the pier that we went to that time to see that red boat.
Yeah, it's the boats with the red sail you see on like Hong Kong stuff. Like traditionally, they hang out right there, and so like that's if you're picturing it, it's like very dark. A lot of bright neon colors. It's almost like the water looks black there, and the red sail looks really brilliant. Yeah, a lot of reflections against that.
So we walk all the way down to the other side, and then approximately maybe like 2 miles.
Yeah.
2 miles walk. So and then so yeah, that's it. And so we're asking what he does. He did not really do anything. And
but he was just there with you.
Yeah, just there with me, and so that's the moment I feel like, oh, even I know there's someone around, but you just don't care. You just don't remember.
Yeah, you're so just tuned in, to each other, and
so
you're walking together.
So that's why it's for back to your question. So I think I don't even how to tell you about what he does, and that's all I can tell you to experience, and that's what he.
Is it like a feeling of like attention and like that he was there in that moment with you, kind of a thing? He was not very distracted. Is that a big part of it, or?
I guess one thing he made me feel comfortable because he's at least he's very gentle.
Yeah.
He's not type of person like when he, because sometimes some people, not just only guys, sometimes some girls too, and when
yeah.
when they first meet with you, and I guess they're trying to want to build up their confidence, so they're trying to talk a lot of things that you feel like it's not necessary. You feel like I don't really need to know for certain things.
Yeah. It gets very like.
So I guess
showing off or something.
Yeah, showing
almost.
off somehow. I mean, it's very common. I think when you go out, you meet with some other people, and it's totally. It could be.
I've been both sides of that a lot of the time. Yeah.
It could be for good as well. Obviously, that person really care about you, so that's why he or she want to.
They want to impress you, yeah.
Impress you, right? But for me, it just doesn't work. That way. And so that's why I just don't like people start to write about themselves, and not even just talk about like relationship, even friendship, and I I don't care about where you graduate. I don't care about how much work you have done. I mean, I do care, but it's not the reason why I be friends with you, or not the reason why I hang out or start a relationship with you. I guess So I think that's why usually when people doing things like this, is definitely it's not going to be have that romance, sensation continuing for. I mean, that's atmosphere. So that's why. I think that's why somehow maybe just be humble, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this guy, whoever hang out with me from the past, they usually when I make me feel good, and they usually just like very humble. They can hold topic really really nicely, and also they're very gentle. I think I remember they're actually very gentlemen. Small little thing, for example, when you go out to a restaurant, and then they will hold the door for you. They will pull the chair for you.
Yeah.
And then even like not for me, I remember somehow the guy when we go to the elevator, it's very simple, and the guy will let the girl. I mean, I'm sure especially here's the thing, in Hong Kong, very weird. People in Hong Kong, they're not that polite, and they kind of rude in a way. But I get used to it. But somehow, certainly, but in Western, I think, maybe East Coast, New York, also people are kind of rude as well, to be honest, to tell you. Because I have terrible experience in New York for that. But in Hong Kong as well. So, and so when in maybe in Seattle, it's not much, because Seattle, most people, they're very polite. And then they will just simply asking, when you're going to the elevator, most guy, they will let the girl go first, and go ahead. For me, at that moment, I take a look at that, you are so nice. And then you're so gentle, and then it's just a little small thing, and that's also helping me to build up that what's that called, like attraction, or what a fantasy about this person. So
build up who they are in your mind and how they'll act.
So that's kind of make me feel now this guy's very gentle and he's very nice, and then I'm spending time with him, and then they will make me feel that is romantic. I feel romantic about that, So that's what I what I feel.
About him being like kind to other people and considerate. And
yeah. So this is what
what
I feel about romance from the past.
Mm-hmm.
So today I don't know because and I think when you're growing up, I guess when I growing up, I don't know about you. When I growing up, I feel like romantic is not that important anymore. Unfortunately, I guess. So yeah, that's why I think yeah. So I mean, for me, it's good to like today we talk about this as well, kind of bring me back some memories from the past and and what I'm really into, what I used to into,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why does it feel like it's less important maybe today than it was then, in your mind? Or is it like for you in your life, or do you think it's like more of a universal thing? Like what have your kind of feelings?
Universal thing. The reason why I say that because when I talk to some of the people around my age, they also have some kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So I think it's not just about me. I think.
Yeah.
So at least some of the friends I talk to, and they kind of feel like, oh well, right now it's actually more important about family. It's more important. They're not going to just do something romantic and then, or just let's say for example, I think the most interesting things like around my age right now, and I probably will put my family first. Even I want to do something romantic, but I still feel like take a look at the family, if the family capable to afford it, or if the family able to just a lot of circumstances to think about the family go first instead of because back in that time when I was younger, I don't care, I just want to go to do it, and I don't have to care about my family, I don't have to care about whatever what my family might suffer, whatever, so I just don't care about this. I guess when you're growing up, that's what you call maybe being mature. I don't know.
Something about that. I mean, I don't think they have to be mutually exclusive, but you're saying like your priority is your family over like new romantic experiences or something like that.
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of selfish. I think I will say priority. Unfortunately, even my family's heard that, and I do apologize. My priorities, unfortunately, it's my dream.
Yeah.
Which means most of you probably know fashion.
Yeah.
But no, actually not really fashion. I mean, I guess just being creative.
Yeah, because being an artist kind of thing.
I often feel like I just don't see myself as a fashion designer, but I just like to be creative. It just happened, I did different things too. I did painting, photographing, but it just happened fashion design. It's actually I got more recognition for fashion design, so that's why. But anyway, my priority will be the being creative. That's my priority.
Yeah. And then outside of that,
and
everything
then
else
will be family, and then will be whatever the romance, so I think that's what I.
Yeah, that's cool. That's it. That's really interesting.
But what about you?
What about me? What are my priorities? Yeah, I would say. I mean, I definitely
Yourself?
have. Yeah, my main priority is probably myself. I mean,
get to know you more.
Yeah, yeah, self-centered. But I think it's difficult not to be kind of self-centered because we're all seeing out of our own eyes or whatever, right? And so from that perspective, my priority is definitely like following some kind of a dream. I'm not like totally sure what that is yet. That's kind of been unfolding in different ways, and I've been getting like different clues as to like what it is through like listening to my sensations more and more lately. And I think that and like having interesting stories and facing fears. So like what I want to do more than anything, I figured out, at least right now, the package that I found for it from like what I've done in the past that's felt like me and very rewarding, and like I feel good when I do it. Just like it feels good, like sunshine on your skin, or like how food tastes good. It just feels good. Is any kind of like writing and performance. So anytime I'm doing like writing or performing, there's something about that kind of expression and connecting with people in that way, and like collaborating with people artistically, that just makes me feel excited to be alive. And that's like a feeling that makes my life a lot better and gives me the ability to make like other people's lives around me better. And if I'm not feeling excited to be alive, I'm not as helpful to other people, I'm not as friendly to strangers. There's all these things that kind of fall apart. And so I want to follow that feeling of being excited to be alive, but where I keep finding it is like these big fears are these really good indicators of what I need to do next, almost, right? So like what I'm afraid of, the reason I'm afraid of it is because I care about it often. It's like there was this Caleb's podcast, Only Everything. If you ever see this, Caleb, what's up? I'll mention it to him. But he had me on his podcast, and we were talking about the trip to China that we went on and anxiety. And I was set up to do this podcast, right? And I was like feeling very jet lagged one day, and I didn't want to do it. I was feeling very nervous, and I was like, oh no, I can't do it this day. And I rescheduled it. And then partly I found the topic of anxiety helped me to be able to talk about that anxiety on it, which is another like good trick, is like when something's scaring me, if I can talk about it, that helps a lot. But a reason I was going on the way there, and I was like, why is this scaring me so much? And it wasn't, I think it was mostly because I really care about it, and I like doing podcasts, I like talking about things, and so the reason that it was scary is because it was exciting, and so those are like married together. And so in my story, I just want to keep chasing that excitement and that fear and stuff. And right now, from my very self-centered point of view, that's like my priority is to face different fears, but that can take different shapes of different temporary priorities, whether it be a relationship or a project or you know, getting into something that just frightens me. Even this is like a big priority in a way, because this is like scary to do, and so like as I'm doing it, I feel myself getting more excited.
It sounds like your priority, it's being scary.
Yeah, it's facing my fears. It's facing my fears in some way, or following the feeling of connecting with people and what really makes me feel like me.
You know, it's very interesting. Really interesting to know. I mean, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm kind of switch the topic a little bit. It's about dream. You know, you know me. I love dream. I love talking about dream. I think this all I think about, all I do, is dreaming.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's
cool though.
I'm not just only dreaming. I actually making my dream come true. I mean, I actually kind of more like an active person. When I dream it, and I will do it. You know, I don't just only think about it. You know.
Yeah.
So I kind of very curious about, you know, a lot of people. I don't know, maybe because I'm not you, or I'm not in someone out there who feels like they don't know what's their dream.
Yeah.
You know, so I just don't I don't really get it in a way, because I guess let me put it this way. So for me, when I was a child, I already know I'm very into art.
Yeah.
I like to draw, I love to paint. I don't even remember, my grandma told me when I was a little baby, I don't need toys. And all they did, they just give me a piece of paper and a pen, and then I can sit there all day. And even I could draw, and even I saw an old picture of me when I was a baby, and in the back there's like a little not love seat, like a couch, but only one person can sit on it. What those called? Chair. But kind of better comfy chair. So that's why there's a ladder, and then in the back there's a lot of drawing all over. So and then I feel like, wow, why the chair is so dirty? Because when I grow up, I look at the pictures again. So and then my grandma told me, yeah, you did all this thing. You know, you draw all over the chair. So that's why I think for that moment, I already know I like to do art. I like to be an artist. I like to just express myself to, you know, through visual art. You know. Yeah. So and even my family, when I growing up, and then my parents, they disagree with that, and they even like stop me to do art badly. Yeah. So, but I still do it. I still but I mean, for a while, I stop for a while, because I know right now maybe not a good time for me to continue to doing it, but just keep it. And when I'm capable to do it, and then I will do it. You know. So and until I graduate from college, and then I feel like, okay, because you know the Chinese family, most Asian family, you probably understand about usually before you graduate from college, you probably will there's a lot of under control with by your parents. Yeah. So your parent probably most likely will set up your life, you know, and you know, for your life. So and that's why my parents, one of the typical Chinese family, want me to be a lawyer, or you know, a businessman, whatever, a doctor, and so that's why I'm basically one of them. So when I know I won't be, but I just kind of pretending, oh, okay, yeah, I will do it, you know, don't worry. So and then, but you know, deep in my mind, I know it's not going to be happen. So that's why, and I still have that, you know, the momentum or whatever you call in my head. I'm going to do it, maybe not now, but soon. So that's why I get that's one of the reasons why I have very strong about that.
You kept it inside, but you knew you were gonna fulfill it inside.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know. Is that because the reason why I will just kind of keep making my dream, or maybe I appreciate dream more, and then maybe I feel like my dream is not easy to have or to reach or whatever. So that's why to cheat. Yeah. And then I giving more motivation to do it. So and then every time I'm talking to people like this, like you're one of them, and also some of my friends, and they say, I have dream, but I don't know what I really want to do, and So I don't know why. I just wondering why is that,
So the way that I see that kind of a thing is that I think on some level inside of people there is some certain thing or some way of being that feels right and feels like you, and so like anytime you draw, right, you get a certain feeling, maybe if you do, or like there's something that compels you to want to do the art that you do, right? Even if you didn't have success with some of these things, you still would do them, right?
Yeah, I guess
just anyway.
I think I never think about success. This is a dirty words for me, to be honest.
It's distracting.
Yeah, I just feels like I just want to do it, just that simple. And,
and I think everybody has that. I think what it's a difference of is if you value like your dream enough, like you had a very high value for what your dream was, so you were able to figure it out in a certain way. And what I don't think of myself as not knowing what my dream is. I just think that it's a little bit broader than I thought right now, and that I'm still maybe narrowing in on it again. So for a long time I thought it was music, right? And then I was in a band for a long time, and that felt very good for a lot of reasons, and was like complicated for some other reasons, but it felt very good. And then after that, though, the band broke up, and then I was trying to play music by myself, but it didn't have, when I was like sitting alone writing a song or something like that, and I didn't have a connection to playing it in front of people or making it with people, it just didn't have the same thing for me. Whatever it was, I didn't want to do it, so I was struggling. I was in this place where I would struggle to try to do it, but I didn't want to do it, really. You know what I mean? I wanted the rewards from it. I wanted people to say, you're so good, but I didn't feel like I was having fun while I was doing it. And so I think I realized that there are parts of what making music was that were important to me, but that was the writing and performing of it. And that anytime if I like write a story and I gave you a story that's very exciting to me, even when I'm writing it, I sit down and I feel that feeling of like, ooh, I would do this if nobody ever wanted me to or paid me to or whatever. I don't care. This feels awesome. And the same with performing and talking and connecting with people and collaborating in that way. So like the same as like if I can perform in front of people and be me and do weird things and try to be funny or whatever that is, like I would do that anyway also. And so it's this like thing of I just don't have it as a specific thing. But even like what you're saying, I think it might be possible, and let me know if you think this, it's like if you had more success in painting, that might be what you think of as your main passion also, but that your dream or your purpose is more the visual art, and it's maybe doesn't have to be so specific, and that you try it in a lot of different ways, and then you find success with something specific, and then you can follow that, if that makes sense.
I guess so.
But that's just a different way I'm thinking about it right now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I don't know, because I always feels like maybe somehow you got distracted, or maybe you don't. I mean, for those people who don't have a dream or who not doing their dream right now, maybe they don't have enough support, or they just don't have the patience, or I don't know. But for me, just like a lot of time when I'm talking to someone, they I guess for me, some people they feel like I'm successful, which means not true. I mean I don't, again, like I said, I don't even know what's success, and for me what I even never think about that success, the words, because what I just do, I'm just trying to, I have something in my head and I just want to take it out, and then if people appreciate it, that's great. Even people not appreciate it, I still do it. Doesn't really matter for me.
Yeah.
So so I guess that's why it's also it could be like also I'm also kind of lucky about my family. They very supported and
Yeah.
somehow it's kind of like a strategy because and during the process that's my parents and not so supported, and I'm kind of acting miserable. It's not really acting. I'm actually miserable. So and then I think they can feel it and. So later on, after when I'm started doing art, and then they kind of realize, oh, when I'm doing art, and even how many challenge I'm facing, and I still do it. I still, just not seems like acting like I'm not just never giving up. So I think eventually better, they feel it.
Yeah.
So that's why right now they actually support it. So and I guess that's one of the reasons why I just kind of. I'm not questioning, and I kind of feel sad about, when I see people, they have dream.
Yeah.
And then I mean, if I never talk to them about this, but when I always found, when they're talking about, oh, I have dream, I want to do this, I want to do that, but, and I feel like there's no but, and just do it. And I always feel like they like to have like excuse, to
totally
to kind of, telling themselves or telling me, or they cannot continue their dream or whatever. So I think
because I think there's a lot of fear around it. I think it's just like me going to that podcast, especially for me, and I can only speak totally for me, but I think for a lot of people too, like because they care about it, it's scarier than anything else because you care the most about it, so the stakes feel the highest, right? So it's easier to do something that you don't care about as much and say, oh, it's not important if I do good or bad at this because whatever, right? It's easier to do a job maybe where you just go, oh, I mean, I can be good, I can be bad, less pressure, but then inside your own pressure can be sometimes the highest for something that makes you really happy, right? You can think, oh, if I'm a bad artist it's offensive or to me, but if I'm a bad waiter it's okay because I don't have a dream or a passion for being a waiter or something.
No, being a waiter could be a dream too.
But that could also be someone else's dream. But there could be someone who has the dream of being a waiter who can't do it because that's scarier to them,
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to learn about this because, I always want to learn about, what other people feel about their dream or, how they achieve their goal to reach their dream, and at least I'm so happy about so far. I mean, again, not all my dreams actually completed, and some... I can tell you, I have 10 dreams. Probably only half is actually completed. Yeah. But it's fine because the other half will actually giving me motivation.
Yeah, more
continue,
to do. Yeah.
To do it. So even I complete 5 and then I think I try to complete the other 5 but meanwhile I have another new 5 dream to start to put it in.
That are coming up.
Always have things going on. So it's kind of like my religious, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I think that's
cool.
one reason when someone talking to just only one dream they want to complete, they seems like having some trouble with it. Yeah. So and I guess for me, because I feel like I can do it, why can't you? And then it's kind of bothering me sometimes, in a way. But so that's why it's good to learn about some like based on your situation, you can learn about their situation as well, and there's have to be some sort of reason for them. They're just not able to do it. Also involving their personality as well.
It depends on the person. For me lately, spreading it out has actually been really beneficial because they all feel a little bit less heavy or like they have to be so important, which I think makes it a little bit easier, right? So like we're doing this, and like also I'm working on writing stories, and also I'm working on going to college, and I'm going to do that, and I'm working on different I have just other goals that I'm working on, trying to travel and all these. But the more different things I have, the less pressure there is on each individual one, which is why it's nice to have like you're saying, like 10 at a time or something, that you can kind of pursue all of them, and then it's just less pressure, and you can do it in a more organic way.
Some dream is very simple. My dream, I could just sit right in front of the computer watching YouTube. It could be my dream too, because it's very easy to complete, and or play video game. I complete that dream all the time, on the phone, or so that's why. I mean, I think somehow I guess also that's helping myself. Okay, I need to figure out a way. Dream is not what you think. It's that abstract. Wait, is it called abstract? Like
it doesn't have to
like
be
it's
so
not like with a fantasy. In a way. So
untouchable. Yeah.
Untouchable.
Imaginary.
So I think that's why I feel like dream is actually existing. Like pretty much think about it. Like 100 years ago, maybe 200 years ago. People dream to fly in the sky, and a lot of people saying, you know what, no, you can't. Look what happened today. And that's why I think that's kind of things kind of helping myself. And this is not such a thing like impossible. I think if you really have the passion about what you, if you really believe in your dream and have the passion about it, then so it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna make sense for you. I always feel like but first of all, my English is not that great. So I always think about impossible somehow. When people say impossible, then I feel like what, just give yourself a bit more, push yourself a bit harder, creating a little space for yourself, put in between am and p will become I am possible. So and you can separate two words to become when you think you are impossible. So that's why.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think and I just hoping even when I'm seeing people out there and if they try to do something and just do it. I mean, especially today, we are very lucky to live in this generation,
This
live
time,
in this era.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we're talking like back in 40s, during the war, and it's people they trying to do. I mean, we're talking about trying to.
You gotta survive.
Survive, not even able to do it. So that's why I think today, I mean, if we can do it, why not? And try not to, give yourself excuse for that. So.
Yeah, or feel those limitations. Another thing that has felt important to me recently, which is another idea that I read somewhere, and I don't remember it now, but that the thought that you don't get to really pick what you're passionate about in that way, or that you don't have to try to choose something to be passionate about. Just whatever you're actually passionate about, there it is. And so like I think sometimes a lot of the time I spent a lot of my time trying to like pick a cool things that I thought were very cool to be excited about, if that makes sense. Not just things that I thought were cool in my heart, but like would be cool to other people, right? Like, so I think about, say, what kind of music I wanted to make, but I'd be like, oh, but like I want to make the kind of music that I think everyone else will like, or is like, very a nice beautiful aesthetic or something, when maybe what my actual preferences are, I like a lot of other different crazy things, but I wouldn't want to make it too crazy because I want everyone to like it or something. But that you don't really have a choice of like what makes you excited, and it can be something that you might think is silly or dumb or whatever, but even so it's like cool to follow that, like you're saying too.
Yeah. But I mean, anyway, I apologize to switch topic, and we're supposed to talk about romance, but
yeah.
But you know what? Doesn't matter. I mean, unfortunately, romance is not my priority. So if you want and if you think about romance, it's your dream. You can go ahead to reach out to it. Find someone you're having a crush with, and just go ahead to tell them, hey, I have a crush on you, and not necessarily about that we're going to, at least you try, right? At least you don't feel bad about that. You've never done anything, and boom. Like me, I'm also like 40 years old already, almost. So that's why it's just like, I mean, I don't say, I never feels like, time went past like very fast. I don't feel that way, but I just feels like, you just cannot, what's that called?
Like missed opportunities or
no, not much missed opportunities. I mean, it's just like you just cannot stop the time, when time is past,
it just
keeps
happening,
it just keep happening. You just cannot, using that as an excuse for certain things, and then later on when time goes by and then you realize, oh, I'm only 40, 50, or even 60, 70 years old, and you have regret for things that you did not do, never done, and so I just don't want to. I don't know, when I was a young boy, I would have that feeling. I just don't want to feel regret, so that's why I try to do a lot of things as much as I can, when I'm still capable, because and sometimes even some of the people right now, they are let's say someone with disability, and
Yeah.
they want to be a dancer,
Yeah.
but they don't have. Let's say they lost a leg.
Yeah.
And then they cannot dance, and then so I think that's when I'm looking at those people, it's actually kind of giving me even more motivation
To do what you want to do,
what I really want
because you have the ability
so
to do it.
ability. So that's why I kind of
Yeah.
said when I see people, they still okay, they're totally fine too, and then they kind of giving up, in a way. So that's why.
But it makes you feel lucky to have what you have instead of feeling like
totally.
yeah, totally.
But anyway, so it's about time, and
Oh yeah.
thank you, and I
Yeah,
hope,
thanks for watching.
I hope you guys enjoy. I guess I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel good, and
Yeah.
it could be better in the future.
Yeah. We're learning.
I
We're
don't
working
even
on
know
it.
if anybody watching. I mean, no one watching is totally fine. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't leave a number. Just want to let you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, we can put it so it saves to your story for 24 hours if you want, and then it can just be available and people can see it on here. And then also what we're going to do is we're saving these and we're going to upload them on YouTube so you can watch the full thing there. We're going to build accounts for that this week, and we'll have one up from last week and one up from today at Kimochi podcast, the Kimochi Podcast. On
by the
YouTube.
way, just in case you don't know what kimochis mean, it's Japanese meaning feels good. So, and I hope, we feels good, and I hope you feels good. Everybody feels good. So that's why I guess that's the purpose, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We wanna talk about stuff that makes us feel good. We're gonna have guests in here, talk about what they're excited about, and it's one of the ways you described it is if you're like sitting outside, you feel the breeze on your face. You're enjoying a nice meal, you have a nice drink, and you feel the sun or something, and you might say kimochi, like just to say that like this experience feels good.
If you're Japanese, you totally understand what's that mean. If you just in case you don't understand Japanese, it's
in case you don't speak Japanese.
not kimochi. I'm always thinking about kimchi. Not related. Never mind. So
Kimchi feels pretty good though. Kimchi gives me some kimochi.
for you,
You don't like kimchi?
No, spicy. And
It's a little spicy. It's kind of wild.
I'm not really
I like
a fan of
sauerkraut
spicy.
too. You like sauerkraut?
Depends.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I guess I'm kind of weird. Sometimes I like very strong flavored food, but sometimes I don't. But anyway, so thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
If you like it, and if you have any question, feel free to leave a message for us. And and oh, by the way, happy Pride. It's a Pride weekend in Seattle, and so I hope you have an awesome plan. And it will be a lot of things going on Capitol Hill, and as well as tomorrow at the Seattle Center. So go out to have a good time, enjoy. And
be yourselves, enjoy yourself.
Well,
be wild.
This year is different. This year I think it's 50 years anniversary for Stonewall. So I think should be something even more exciting, more meaningful at least, to go out to celebrate. So, but anyway, thank you for watching.
Peace. Thanks.